Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big topics into clear, actionable insights.
So you've got this brilliant idea, right? A real game changer. But the big question is always the same. How do you actually turn that spark into something real? Especially today, in India's super competitive industrial landscape. Well, let's explore the modern toolkit that does exactly that.
We're going to follow the entire journey. We'll start with where great ideas come from, then we'll look at how you actually build the thing. We'll talk about the Agile way of working, and finally, we'll get into how to master the project plan to bring it all home.
All right, Section 1. It all starts with that spark of innovation. But, creativity in a business setting can't just be chaos. It has to be structured. So how do you organize a thought?
Okay, let's get these two terms straight. Creativity, that's dreaming up a fantastic new idea. But innovation, that's taking the idea, actually building it, and turning it into something that creates real value for people. To manage that leap, you need some solid techniques.
And one of the most effective tools out there has to be the Six Thinking Hats. Now, this was developed by Edward de Bono, and it's brilliant because it helps teams look at a problem from every single angle. It's a fantastic way to cut down on arguments and just make better decisions together.
Now, what's really interesting here is how each hat forces a specific perspective. When everyone puts on the white hat, you only talk about facts, no opinions, just data. Then with the red hat, it's all about gut feelings and emotions. You go through all the hats, the cautious black hat, the optimistic yellow hat, and it ensures every voice and every viewpoint gets heard. It's a really powerful way to think.
And this isn't just theory, This is real-world stuff. Take this example from an IT team at Infosys in Pune. They used this exact method to check out a new software module, and the result, a much stronger, more successful design. It just goes to show how a structured, creative process leads to real results.
Okay, so you have a great idea. Now what? How do you actually forge it into a product? Let's get into the journey from a concept to something a customer can actually hold. So this whole process is called New Product Development, or NPD. And let me tell you, it is a really challenging path. The truth is, most new products, well, they just don't make it.
Look at that number, 70 to 80%. That's the typical failure rate for new products. It's a huge number, and it really drives home the point that you have to understand how to beat those odds. It's not just about having a good idea, it's about having a good process.
And if you want a masterclass in this, look no further than the Tata Nano. The vision here was so clear: a safe, affordable car for Indian families. So a massive team of engineers started with a totally clean slate, and they ended up filing 34 patents. The whole project proved that this idea of frugal innovation wasn't just a dream, it was absolutely possible.
Now, the world we live in today is, well, it's unpredictable. There's this acronym, VUCA, that describes it perfectly: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And in a world like that, rigid, old-school plans, they just break.
And that's where the Agile method comes in. It was literally designed for this kind of uncertainty. The old way, the Waterfall method, is like building a house. You need the complete blueprint before you lay a single brick. But Agile, it's more like navigating a ship. You know your destination, but you're constantly adjusting to the wind and the waves. You adapt as you go.
And these 4 values are the absolute core of the Agile mindset. It's not saying that things like processes and documentation are bad. Not at all. It's just saying that a working product, customer feedback, and the ability to change course are more valuable. It's about being responsive and human-centered.
So, you've got an innovative product and an agile way of working. Fantastic. Now you need the discipline to actually deliver it. Let's talk about the blueprint for getting it done.
And this is where project management really shines. It's not about creating mountains of paperwork. It's about applying knowledge and skills and tools to make sure you meet your goals on time and, really importantly, within budget.
One of the best tools for this is the Gantt chart. Honestly, it's a supervisor's best friend. It lets you take a huge, complicated project and lay it out on a simple, visual timeline. It makes it super clear to the whole team who's doing what, when it's due, and how everything fits together.
And for even more complex stuff, you have tools like PERT and CPM. Here's the simple way to think about it. If your project is predictable, like building a bridge, you use CPM, which uses one solid time estimate. But if your project is brand new R&D and full of unknowns, you use PERT. It uses 3 time estimates: best case, worst case, and most likely, to help you manage all that uncertainty. So there you have it. That's the full toolkit. You're combining structured creativity,
a solid development process, that agile, flexible mindset, and disciplined project management. When you put all of that together, you are seriously equipped to lead.
You know, your industry is changing faster than ever. That's the challenge, for sure, but it's also the opportunity. You've got the tools. So the real question is, what amazing idea are you going to bring to life?